Hello, everyone. This is the video for exam one. This video is going to cover what's going to happen for exam one, sort of like the rundown of how you are going to be sort of taking it, and after you take it, what's going to happen afterwards. Okay. This video hopefully won't be too long. It's going to be specifically just about exam one, and the practice exam that's going to come up. That should be already open for everybody. I'm going to show you guys where to find it and everything. Okay. So the first thing I want to do is just talk about the practice exam itself, the practice exam. Okay. So the way that I made the practice exam is literally I made the test first, and then I made a direct copy of it for the practice exam. Okay. It is a direct copy of the actual exam that you're going to take. Okay. For the practice exam, no proof is required. You don't have to submit any proof at all. So long as you solve the problems, right? And you know how to do them and all that stuff, right? That's fine, okay? It is due on the 24th, so it's Friday at midnight, okay? For the practice exam, you have 5 attempts, and each version is different every time, and that's the point. So since I can't have you guys come to class, right? Since I can't have you guys come to the college, the way that I have to measure your knowledge of the subject is timed, and everybody's problems are going to have to be varied, okay? So there's going to be 5 attempts for everybody. It's going to be different every time, okay? And your highest attempt from all 5 tries, that's going to be the one that's going to stick. So your highest grade sticks, okay? And this is something that I have to emphasize every time when I do a test like this. Treat every single one of the practice exams, treat them as an exam itself. So make sure you sit down, take however long you need. I'm giving you 2 hours for each one of the exams, right? But sit down, right? Pretend it's the actual test and start writing out. Be as meticulous, as legible, right? And as clear as possible for all of your work. Everything. Okay. Because you're going to need to show it for the test. Okay. So that is the practice exam. For the actual exam, okay, for the actual exam, it will open up and close on Friday the 24th. Okay. So it'll open up at 12 in the morning, right? And it will close at 12 midnight. Okay. For the actual exam, you will need to provide proof of your work. Okay, and that will be turned in on separate sheets of paper, just how you've been turning in your quick checks and your lecture questions. The same method that you're going to be doing that we've been doing for turning in that work, that's the same method that you're going to use to turn in the proof of your work for the exam. Okay, and it's going to be right next to the assignment for the actual exam. Okay. You click on it, it's going to ask you submit work, you take pictures, right? And then you submit away. Okay. Proof of your work must be turned in within 15 minutes of the end of your test. Okay. Everything is timestamped, so I'll know when somebody takes too long to submit something. Okay. And I have reduced grades in the past for people that have not turned in stuff in a timely manner. I have had students that have turned in their exam, okay, and then took an entire 3 hours later to turn in their write-up. That is not going to be allowed. I will reduce your grade heavily for that. Okay. I see that as you trying to circumvent sort of like the parameters for the test, and that's giving yourself an unfair advantage, right? That no one else is getting. Okay. The test itself, like I said, will open on the 24th at the 24th, 12 a.m. and it will close at midnight on the 24th. Okay. The test in itself is 2 hours long. Okay. And you can take it whenever you want. But the second you start the test, you have to sit there and take it for the full 2 hours. Okay. So that means if you decide to take the test at 6 a.m. in the morning, you have to complete it by around 8 o'clock. Okay. You won't be able to move until 8 o'clock. Okay. as a corollary to that, right? That means that if you want to sort of push out as much studying as possible for that exam, okay, that means you have to start the exam at around 10 o'clock on Friday, okay, in order for you to get the full 2 hours. If you don't, it'll truncate you down, okay? You'll get less than the 2 hours, okay? For those of you who have DSPS accommodations, everything should be sorted so that you should have your time and a half or double time. If not, if you don't see it reflected on the test itself, let me know. Okay. Like I said, once you start it, you can't stop. Okay. So make sure you're somewhere that has a very reliable internet access, right? And somewhere that you can sit down and know you can concentrate for the full 2 hours of your test. Okay. Because I have to measure your knowledge, right? And the only way I have to do that is through a time crunch like this, right? I cannot allow makeups. So make sure, like I said, make sure you are in a spot where you have a reliable internet connection, that you will not be bothered for 2 hours, okay? And then you get everything done within those 2 hours, 2 hours, 15 minutes, okay? And then the last thing about the exam one, right, is that at the end of the exam, it's going to give you a grade, okay? That is not the grade, okay? Because of the online system that I'm using, right, it'll either give you, because of the numbers that you use, right, it'll either give you completely correct, a full 10 or 15 points, right, or it'll give you a 0 because it was not correct at all, okay? That's where your write-ups will come in, okay? I will look at your write-up, okay? And if the process looks correct and you messed up on a negative and that negative carried out and you got an incorrect answer, but the work is there, right? I will change the grade and give you, the partial credit that you deserve, okay? So when it comes to doing your write-up, be as meticulous, as clear, as legible as possible, okay? You really don't want to lose points because you make a jump in a step, right? And it's not entirely justified, okay? So make sure you are completely clear. Error on the side of, let me just show the step, right? Then not, okay? Now, in terms of partial credits, more often than not, people's grade tend to go up based off of partial credit, okay? Not to say that happens every time. There have been times, like I said, that people's grades have dropped because of a lack of sort of proof of their work, okay? So, like I said, be meticulous, be clear, be legible, err on the side of, let me just show the step, okay? Does that make sense? And I think that is it. Since the exam is going to happen on Friday, I will be online the entire day. Not in the entire day. I'm thinking until maybe 6 o'clock, 8 o'clock, like usual. I don't have anything else that day. I don't have any other meetings to go to. So if you have any questions, drop on by into my Zoom room. You guys know the link. Or send me an email, either which one, okay? Besides that, I am done here. I don't think there's anything else. If I remember something, I'll send you guys an email. Cool. Yeah, happy studying.